Mark 14, verse 3, and it says, while he, speaking of Jesus, was at Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, as he was reclining at a table, a woman came with an alabaster flask of ointment of pure nard, very costly, and she broke the flask and poured it over his head. There were some who said to themselves indignantly, why was the ointment wasted like that? For this ointment could have been sold for more than 300 denarii and given to the poor. And they scolded her. But Jesus said, leave her alone. Why do you trouble her? She has done a beautiful thing to me. For you always have the poor with you. And whenever you want, you can do good for them. But you will not always have me. She has done what she could. She has anointed my body beforehand for burial. And truly I say to you, wherever the gospel is proclaimed in the whole world, what she has done will be told in memory of her. I just want to walk through this together for a minute and just think about verse 4. It says, some took offense, believing that Mary's gesture was wasted on Jesus, that it was wasted on Jesus. I wonder if you and I have ever labeled an expression of love toward Jesus a waste. He's not worth that, right? I mean, I think I've been there. I'm just praying for God, give me Mary's heart. That you are worth everything, that I am ready to pour everything out to you. And Jesus describes her action as beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, what she has done. And then he says in verse 9 that wherever the gospel is proclaimed, she will be remembered. What was so special about what she did that would cause him to say that? I mean, there are many times in Scripture, all kinds of stories. This is the only time he says something like this. Wherever the gospel is proclaimed in the whole world, she is going to be remembered for this act. We're doing it right now. We're remembering it. Why would he have said that? Well, let's take a look for a minute at the value of the gift. In verse 5, we're told it was worth over 300 denarii. A denarius was equal to about a day's wage in that time. And so that gift was worth about a year's wages that she poured out for him. Let's put it in a little bit of context. Think about a year's wages today. Let's just give it a value of $30,000. That gift in her day would have been like a gift today, a whole year's wages for a person, $30,000. What would you do if you had a gift worth that? Would you be willing to pour it out to Jesus instead of using it for yourself? Especially if it had the potential to do some pretty amazing things for you. I want you to think about that. Scholars agree that the gift represented her dowry. It was her wedding price. And so this is just a very profound thing to me, that when Mary was taking that perfume and she was breaking it and pouring it out over Jesus, it represented her future. In that time, in that day, the only value a woman had was if she had a husband and if she could bear children. This was what secured that for her. And she took that gift and she broke it and she poured it out to Jesus. When she did that, she was giving to him her future husband, her future children, her value in society. And it didn't matter to her because she knew how valued she was by him, and he was worth it.